Good evening and welcome to Experience Bar, where we're turning video games into cocktails. My name is Jack and I'll be your bartender for this evening as I show you how to make two different versions of every adventurer's friend, the Potion of Healing from Minecraft. Let's get started. So, we're actually going to be making two different versions of this potion today because we are using two different pink spirits. On the one hand, we are using 1919 pink gin and blush vodka, which is a pink vodka. I know it says gin on the front there, but I promise it is in fact vodka. Both of these bottles were provided by the producers of Blush and 1919, so thank you to them for making this drink possible. Regardless of which spirit you are using, your chosen pink spirit, you are going to need 2 ounces of it. Half an ounce of watermelon simple syrup. If you don't know how to make that, check the description. A 1/4 ounce of honey liqueur. If you can't find honey liqueur, you can use honey simple syrup instead in the same amounts. And lastly, half an ounce of lemon juice. And shakeify. Lovely jubbly, and we are going to take our potion bottle. A lot of people ask me about where I get these kinds of potion bottles. Honestly, check your charity shops. They will have a lot of kind of glassware that people don't want. They'll often stay on the shelf for ages. They might have a little bit of dust on them, but nothing a little quick scrub can get, and you get some really interesting, cool stuff. Alternatively, you can check your oil and vinegar sections of homeware stores. They'll often have some cool potion-like bottle things, or for the real budget option, Orangina bottles. We are now going to strain our drink. Do you know what? This is actually a really narrow-necked potion bottle, so we're going to strain it into everyone's favorite milk jug over here. Makes life a lot easier for us. P.S. The reason that we are straining this through a tea strainer, I get this question a lot, is because a cobbler shaker like this, it does have a built-in strainer, but it doesn't catch all the little ice chunks, which you'll see down the bottom there. That's what that's for. And now we are going to add this into our potion vessel. And there you have it, two different versions of the Minecraft Potion of Healing. We're just going to finish both of these off with a nice little lemon peel. And into this one we are going to add a little bit of luster dust. Now if you've watched our D&D Potion of Healing, you may recognize this as being how we finish off that drink as well. So we're just going to add a couple of bits. I do apologize for using a plastic straw. I know it's not exactly particularly good for the planet, but it's all we had access to on a short notice. I'm going to give it a quick swirly, and that should give it a nice little sparkle. There you go, two different versions of the Potion of Healing from Minecraft, using two different pink gins, 1919 and Blush. Cool, and now we just, in the traditional Experience Bar fashion, we go through all this trouble to put bloody garnishes in and then immediately take them out to drink them. Cheers to the patrons who make these drinks happen. So, I have been a Minecraft player for quite a long time. I actually bought it when it was still in beta. Like a lot of people did, it was extremely popular. If I remember correctly, it was more popular than a lot of full release games when it was still in beta. Over the years, there's been a lot of really cool updates and interesting things added, but the one that I really got excited for was the alchemy update, which was yonks ago now, but at the time it felt really cool, like real far future stuff. It was exciting to jump back into the game and go and gather all these new materials and craft some new useful potions. And of course, the first one you're going to make is going to be the most useful one, which is, in my opinion, apart from the fire resistance one for when you fall into lava, is the Potion of Healing. In the game, these useful little potions are made with a few interesting ingredients, including a glistering melon, which is a watermelon combined with gold nuggets and nether wart, and of course water. For our version, I wanted to keep it into the game recipe itself, but adding something called a wart into a drink is kind of gross, so we ignored that bit, but we did go with the glistering melon part. Obviously, we've got our watermelon simple syrup, which depending on your watermelons may end up this drink being less or more red than usual. And we've got our honey liqueur, which actually has a little bit of gold in it, this particular brand. Don't feel like you have to do that. I feel like the sparkly sparkles in this one kind of covers that quite nicely. One thing to talk about, this is a good opportunity to talk about this as well, is pink spirits. There's been a kind of recent resurgence, at least in New Zealand, for pink spirits. A lot of people think that these pink gins and pink vodkas are all the same and they all taste the same, that you can replace one with the other. You actually can't. They are extremely different. Take the blush vodka, for example. One, it's a vodka, so it's going to be very clean, relatively flavorless as a base spirit, but then they add rhubarb into the equation to give it that pink hue. As a result, it comes out a little bit more peach than other pink ones, and it provides this very kind of almost savory, sweet, a little bit vegetal in there as well. So the combination of the rhubarb and the vodka together creates quite a clean drink, right? Very fresh, very summery. Meanwhile, on the other end of the table, we have our 1919 pink gin. Now, it being a gin means that it has far more herbal characteristics, but being a pink gin that's made with raspberries and strawberries rather than rhubarb has these very distinct red fruit flavors, which come across very, very strongly when you compare these two to one another. So on the one hand, you have this very characterful, very full-on, lots of flavors going on with red fruit coming through very strongly. But on the other, you have this clean, fresh, highly enjoyable, very almost a hydrating drink. I mean, it's got 2 ounces of 40% spirit in there, so it's going to dehydrate you, but it doesn't taste like it is. But yeah, that's the difference between the two. Thank you again to 1919 and Blush for providing these two and letting us play around with them. Hope you guys have enjoyed yourself as much as I have. If you liked what you've seen here today, please give us a like and subscribe, or head over to our socials, including our subreddit and our Discord, to interact with the community and make suggestions. And we do have a Patreon set up, which if you subscribe to it, you get access to some cool goodies, including a D&D recipe book that you can't get anywhere else, with a few other recipe books on the way. We're creating new content every 2 weeks, so keep an eye out for us in your notifications. Hope to see you then, but until then, cheers.